What up, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. If you hear any crunching, the dog just got a treat, so she would leave me alone for a few minutes, so bear with me. But today I have an Efes Pilsener. I don't know if that's pronounced right. There you go. It is a Mediterranean slow brew. Let's see, I'm not sure where it's from. Let's see if I can, looks like it's Turkey. So I believe, because it says the website is .tr, so that's definitely Turkey. But the Turkish Mediterranean beer, one thing that's interesting is it comes with a foil-like cap crown on the top. So, which is kind of nice. You know, sometimes you buy one of those cans from the grocery store, you know, like the one-offs, and you're not really sure how many fingers have been tapping and touching the mouth of that beer. Well, this has solved that problem. And it kind of reminds me of like the Flintstones push pops when you were a kid and you had the little, you know, thing on top before you pushed it up. So nothing like reminding you of your childhood like you did when you get in a beer. So anyways, let's crack this open. Give it a pouring. So it is Friday night right now, and the street behind me gets a little touristy, so we'll see if we hear anybody. But alright, let's see the specs on this beer. It is 5% ABV, and that seems to be all the information they give you. There's a little blurb that says there's a 100% malt, 100%. So there's no water or anything, just malt. But okay, this is, we take our time to brew Efes with our unique Mediterranean slow brew technique by adding one more resting moment in our brewing process, creating a smoother beer with refreshing taste and a signature crisp finish. So, I don't know what, you know, they take longer to brew it. I don't know. Here's the pour, very clear. Anyways, let's get into the review, get into the smell. It has kind of an orange peel zest aroma. A bit corn too. You almost have this, like if you cooked corn with orange slices in it. That is almost like exactly what it smells like. Or maybe it's more like, because there's a bit of a toasted aspect to it. Maybe if you ever have like the toasted corn snacks, you find more of that in like Latin America, but it's like the big corn and it's toasted and sometimes it's spicy or whatever. But it has kind of that toasted corn meets orange zest going on. I mean, but it smells like a kind of your basic Pilsner. It smells fine. I think this could be good in a hot day, but yeah, I was a little worried that it'd be real funky, because sometimes you never know, some of these like Pilsners you've never heard of, sometimes they get real funky in the aroma, but not really. So I'm fine with it. I'll recommend it on aroma, but I'm not sure what I'm going to get into with this. Let's get into the taste. Alright, I feel like I got more things going on than normal in your standard Pilsner. You know, I know this says 100% malt, and I'm not going to argue these. They're not going to just make that up. But there is kind of a toasted barley taste to it. Not extreme, but there is, I don't know, there's a toasted taste to it on like the tip of my tongue. Still has some of that orange zest taste to it. I'm not gonna fully say that this is like as crisp as this thing is making it out to be. There is, I mean, it's the toasted taste kind of lingers. There is just a subtle hint of like an Oktoberfest toastedness going on, like muted, but that's kind of the aspect of what I'm getting from it. It's like a toasted pine nut kind of thing. And that taste lingers, and it's all on the tip of your tongue. So I don't know. Yeah. That it's lingering, and so I can't say it's necessarily a crisp taste, because for like a lot of times that crisp taste, like you drink it, you get the flavor, and boom, it just like that's it. You crisp, done. It cuts like a knife. This doesn't. It's kind of, this cuts like a dull knife going through a tomato. It just kind of it gets all over the place and it lingers. It's, I gotta admit, it's not as, it's not, I feel like a lot of things with like a Pilsner or a lager, those should be really good beers for hot weather. I don't think this would be all that great in hot weather, especially it gets like hot and humid in this area of the world during the summertime. So your beer is going to start getting warmer quicker, and I think this beer would not taste good at like it starts getting close to the room temperature. I do not think this would taste good. It's one of those beers where they have on special when you're at the bar, and you can get like the table where it's got like the giant tube, and you got to drink that. The problem is like it's exposed to all the elements, and so you got to drink that tube fast. Otherwise, you got room temperature like tube beer, and this would be the kind of beer that they try to like get you to get. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just not to that level of crispness that one, it's telling me it is, and two, I really want out of this kind of a Pilsner. So I'm gonna give it a half on that aspect. All right, next category is value for price. This was pretty affordable. I believe I got this for sub €2, so we'll just call it $2. And honestly, if I can, I don't know about you, but if I can try a new beer that I've never had or heard of before for $2, I'm in all day, every day. So I think this is a fine beer. I mean, for price wise, and the problem is, when the beer is made in this part of the world, all the information is written in about 30 different languages, and it makes it impossible to read anything. So I was trying to see if it said the exact city in Turkey that it made it in. I don't know. I mean, it's most of the Turkey is not actually touching the Mediterranean, so I'm gonna guess it's around Istanbul area. But anyways, so imported beer, everything else, $2. I think that's a pretty solid price, so I will recommend it for value price. Distinction, how distinct is it? And there's different tastes going on. You don't always get that with the Pilsner. I feel like oftentimes the Pilsner, it's very, you get one or two flavor notes and that's it, which honestly I'm fine with. Oftentimes when I get a Pilsner, I just want it to be, I want it to be crisp, I want it to be clean, I want it to be easy drinking and something that'll beat the heat. And often that means that I don't need anything that's super complex for my Pilsner beers. I just want something that's like comforting and easy to drink. And while this beer might not hit some of those marks in terms of taste, there are multiple layers going on with this, which is okay. If you want a beer where you have to kind of stop and sip and kind of think about it and try to search for those different tastes, this is not bad with that category. So yeah, you know what, I'm gonna give this a thumbs up on distinction. It's got a few more flavors going on than I think your average Pilsner. Alright, category after that is drinkability, and that's where it starts to decline for me. I mean, it's okay. It is 5%, which, I mean, when you compare it to other beer styles, is like not that much. But when you compare it to other like lagers and pilsners, you're getting an extra 0.5%, maybe up to 1% more than some of these other beers. So that's not bad, and you can't taste that. And like it's serviceable for drinkability, but again, like I said, I don't think it's going to be great when it gets warmer, which is a problem. And so I'm kind of stuck in between. I'm gonna give this a half. I was debating not recommending it, but it is an okay beer taste-wise. It just doesn't quite live up to that crisp level that the can tells me it was supposed to. So I'm gonna give it a half. Last category is would I buy it again, and I have no need for that. I mean, you know, I don't know if I've never gone beer shopping in Turkey before, so I don't know how, you know, the beer scene option. I've been in Turkey for about 6 hours. That's like my extent of my time in Istanbul. So I can't really give you much information on what the beer scene is there, but in terms of where I'm at right now and where the places I go, I have no real need for this. There are better pilsners out there that I can get instead of this, so I have really no need for it. Other than I do like that metal cap that it has over the top. I think that's a nice feature. I feel like that keeps it a little more it sanitizes the top, so you don't have like fingers and dirt and dust. Because I'm sure happened to you guys too, where you get like a one-off at the store and the can, it just looks kind of dusty or dirty, and you know, you kind of clean it off with your t-shirt or whatever. But let's face it, who knows what touched the top of that can? So having that foil crown on it is nice, and I actually kind of wish more places did that. But so that is a bonus. I'm still not buying it again. But alright, that is my review of Efes Pilsner. I'm assuming that is not how you pronounce it, but it is a Mediterranean slow brew. I mean, they say they take one extra step. I don't know if that helps. I mean, I'm not drinking it and being like, oh, you really taste that extra step. But anyways, yeah, that's the review. Like, subscribe, to do all that good stuff. I will be having more beers coming out. And like I said in the last couple new beer reviews I just put out, since I've been gone for so long, I'm going to record a Q&A video in the coming weeks. And so if you have any questions or about anything, like about life, about beers, about the world, whatever. We're not getting into politics. This is not a political channel. But if you have any just general questions about whatever, put them in the comments and I'll add onto the list. So I'll do a Q&A video and answer all those questions. But alright, for myself and Efes Pilsner, what is the brewery's name? About to sign off, but I wanted to give you the brewery name, but it doesn't say that I can see. I don't know, whatever. For myself and Efes Pilsner, take it easy.